Here.
Speak again. Speak. Use your chest.
Yes.
Like you mean it. Dude, you have problems, and I like it. Like, that's why I think I like
Are we
you.
filming yet?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Is that cool with you?
We got a problem. A couple problems.
I have a problem. A serious one.
The first one, let me go first. Thanks.
Oh.
The first one is we never got that clip up from last week. Pissed about it. I asked you repeatedly to get it up.
You asked me 2 days ago. I worked a 60-hour week last week, rolled into this week. Sorry, been busy, man.
Dude, don't get tough.
You know? I apologize. What do you want me to do?
Second problem. The Bears just made a splashy trade right before the jump of the ball here.
They did?
They traded for Keenan Allen. Gave up a 4th rounder. They got Keenan Allen from the Chargers. Legendary Chargers career. We saw him play lots of stadium, if you don't remember that.
I do remember. Wow.
So Keenan Allen is officially a Chicago Bear.
Wow. That's a big move. I'm sure Brandon's happy about that.
Oh, he's acting like they're winning the Super Bowl, which is just comical.
He's like, they're going this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
It's they're for sure. Do you think they're for sure taking Caleb Williams now, or do you think they're sticking with Justin Fields?
I think they're taking Caleb Williams. I don't think they're keeping Fields. I don't think they are. I mean, the only shitty thing for Fields is there's really nothing for him other than a backup spot. What else is there? I mean, is there really anything for him to go out and?
No.
There's nothing for him, unfortunately. And I mean, to be fair, I feel like the guy's got talent. I do. But I don't think.
Longest strides I've ever seen.
Dude, he looks like a grasshopper running.
He just down the field. I mean, he gets down the field so fast, and just longest strides I've seen.
And I just feel like he's just on a dog shit team. Yeah.
You got Kyler Murray's little jitterbug, running, and then you got Fields just looks like a freaking.
He does.
Horse.
He gallops. He doesn't run. He gallops. Yeah. And
glides. I think it's a glide.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the only shitty thing for him is there's no starting jobs for him. I think it's just he's going to be looking at a backup position if he goes somewhere, and it's just I really don't. They're going to take Caleb Williams. They're going to. There's like a 90% chance.
So I think they're taking Caleb Williams too, and guess what? I'm starting to think where Fields could land.
Where?
I'll give you a hint. It's a team that just traded its starting quarterback for last year.
Who?
Any ideas?
Denver? New England? You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I think he's gonna be a Patriot.
You think so?
I really think so. Because we'll give a mid-round, late-round pick, fifth round probably, pick for him. Comes in, competes. That gives us an opportunity to either draft Marvin Harrison at receiver at 3, or trade down if we don't like the options. Because you're obviously not getting Caleb Williams. You're probably not getting Jaden Daniels either. And I don't think the Patriots are totally sold on Drake May. So then you're rolling with Fields. And you're saying here's Marvin Harrison. Patriots have a good defense that's mostly coming back. And you do have weapons on offense still. It's just, and you add Marvin Harrison to that offense, you bet your socks there's weapons on that offense.
You bet your socks.
I'm starting to think that could be the way the Patriots go. So why are you texting, dog?
Huh? Oh, that's business. I got a lot of people buzzing me in, trying to figure out what's going on, and I attend to a lot of things. I'm kind of like think of like my life as an estate. Think of my life as an estate, and there's different parts of the estate to maintain and take care of. That's what I usually handle on a weekly basis, on a week-to-week basis, if you will. You know, ATLT's an
Dog,
LLC. There's a business to take care of,
you
Trist.
ain't
There's a business to
you
take
ain't making
care
it
of.
from LTL freight.
ATLT? That's LLC. We started an LLC. We have an LLC. It's a
You
business to
said
take care of.
LTL freight.
Oh,
We'll-
what's your freight?
yeah.
Anyways, I will say this though. Listen,
You're talking to the moneymaker over here, man. Don't start capping with me. If we need to get tough and go outside, we'll go outside. But up until then, we keep it a buck.
you just
Alright?
keep paying that mortgage on
keep it a
keep
buck.
paying that mortgage on time, all right, big cat. Just keep paying it. See, I'm on my phone and you're sitting looking at your watch like you're a Secret Service agent. Like it's insane.
I'm important.
You're a hypocrite.
I call the shots.
You're a hypocrite.
Say it's my face.
I just did. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. You're all bark, no bite.
So,
All bark,
anyway,
no bite. Never have been. Our whole lives, you've been
I'll
all
bark
bark.
and bite you.
You've been
I'll bark and bite you.
Our whole lives, you've been all bark,
I'll
no
bark
bite.
and bite
No,
you.
but all bark, no bite.
Hey, so listen, can we talk about how I've recently entered the streaming game?
Oh yeah,
And
PUBG, huh? How's it going?
PUBG. We're using Twitch. Is Discord better than Twitch? I feel like Twitch is what the move is. What's the difference between Twitch and-
Discord isn't a streaming.
Oh, it's not?
It's more for it's chatting and groups and messaging. That's what
Okay,
it's for.
So
It's,
Twitch is the move.
yeah, everyone
But then
uses
there's
Twitch. Yeah,
Mixer,
there's
right?
Kick. There's Kick. A lot of people are using Kick now, but I mean, overall, in terms of
Can we
like,
just have one? Can we have a monopoly, please?
but yes, the main one is Twitch. Yes, everyone uses Twitch. I mean,
Okay.
the only reason people are going to Kick are like people who were popular on Twitch, and because you can make more money on Kick. That's the only reason they have people over there. If you're just a random person who wants to stream,
I need
Twitch.
I need to start making money on Twitch. Is what needs to happen.
Well,
So
strap in and get patient. It's gonna take a minute.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, me and Roz were on PUBG last weekend, and it was a hoot. It was
Well, seems like
cracking up, and
you gotta get your donation
I just got
buttons
a
and
mic.
PayPal connected. That's what you gotta do.
I just got a mic, and I'm gonna dual purpose for, well, I guess dual purpose between work, gaming, and podcast. Three purpose. Tri-purpose,
A
whatever.
three-prong offensive.
Three-prong offensive.
No, you gotta get your Twitch page set up, dude. With donation buttons, some overlays.
So what's the
one fighter for him
what's the
overlay.
business model here? Because I need to start. There's a couple things. I mean, I could. Who knows what could happen to me? Dude. I could lose my job tomorrow. I gotta have another passive income.
That's not gonna do it for you if you lose your job, but.
You don't think so?
No, it takes years to make $5 on Twitch, dude.
Oh, jeez. Well, I don't have years.
Well, it's a grind, you know. It's a grind. It's consistency, and I used to, but I don't have a time to stream 6-7 hours and grind and get nasty at games. I don't have that fucking kind of time. Someone's in your house, Trist?
Storm get here.
Oh, we had
storm coming in.
we have
First round right now, and
we
then
have a
got
gorgeous weekend ahead over here. Gorgeous.
We got a cold one over here, but we've had a
Really?
gorgeous week thus far.
We got 70 degrees, clear skies coming Friday, Saturday, and I'm gonna be outside drinking something. You better bet on it.
I'll probably be working. That's the difference between you and me.
That's not even
or streaming.
close.
But that's work now.
You can't
I'll
just
be
start doing
working
something and at the start
my
it's
night
work.
job.
That's not how it works. In that case, I've been working way more than you.
I'm working. I need podcasts, streams. I need to start monetizing this. I'll slap you if you do that, dude.
Dude, why did you deny that? You did do that. That was your thing for a
We
lot
gotta
of years.
start, but we gotta start cutting a profit. You know what I'm saying? Then poker's my other one. Getting into poker.
You like poker?
Dog, we just met.
What? I was gonna say also side note, we could play like a blackjack or a poker on here while we do an episode. That'd be fun. What do you think about that?
Yes. Or set up a tournament. You know, start monetizing.
You don't monetize off the rip in anything. Anybody, no one does that. Okay.
Who knows? I might even have to get into sports
See-
betting. You know, I'm gonna have to get creative.
Yeah. Sports betting is fun.
You hear that? Yeah, we just had.
I heard a whistle.
A whistle? I don't whistle.
It was the wind. Mother Nature
Um,
gave you a whistle.
But I'm trying to think. So you're unwilling to get on a stream with me and Riles and play PUBG. Is that correct? Is that fair to say?
It's PUBG, dude. I don't play that shit.
It is so fun.
I hear you. I
Like me
played
and Riles,
PUBG for a while time, but I'm saying
it's
the limited
entertaining.
time I do get on, like I already have, like people are waiting to play COD or something, like that's just how it is.
Well, you have people and you have Trist. What Trist says gets bumped up the
I
food
agree.
chain.
I agree.
So let's work on that because we need a fourth, and we already win a
Who's
lot.
your
If we
third?
get you, Ranga, his Australian buddy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You guys outsourced, all right.
yeah, a lot cheaper. And we can do big things.
Mhm.
Um, and so
Why don't you and Rylan do Rylan? Why don't you and Riley do fucking wagers, dude?
in COD,
You could do it in PUBG. You can do it in fucking anything.
I don't even know who you run that through. Like what?
Well, GB's no longer, I'm pretty sure, but CMG probably. Checkmate Gaming.
Checkmate game. I'll have to look into it.
But like no, it was the same
But
thing. Like in Fortnite, it had it. You spawn into a squads, so it's 4 people, but you're in a squad of 2, you and your buddy versus him and his buddy, and you both go into a squad game. Obviously, you can't kill the other person. It's fucking not part of the rules. But you go both land in different spots. First person with the most kills or last one alive. Like if you die and you both got 2 kills altogether, they got 2, but they lived longer. They win. That's the same, and then that's who wins the match. And then you have to record, so then you have proof if they dispute. And you could bet any amount of money you can want. You could do $2, you could do $1, do $10. But once you do like $5 or $10, you're gonna be facing kids with like 10,000 earnings. But
yeah, I need to start doing that.
prepare to lose some cash.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, the kids are nerds. That's all they do. The kids that do that, that's all they do every day for years.
That's what I'm trying to do. No.
Well, they have the time under their belt.
Yeah, I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, God knows that's true. Yeah, you're getting up there.
Well,
We're both getting up there.
Yeah. All right, I've had enough. So, so let's get back to free agency here. What's been your most shocking move? We've got Kirk Cousins going to the ATL.
He already has a chain
Saquon
lined up for
Barkley.
Migo.
Hold
Quavo's
on,
already got
let me
him.
finish. Remember? We've got Saquon Barkley going to Philadelphia.
Tiki Barber wasn't happy about that one.
Tiki. We love Tiki.
He said, what did he say? He said, you're a dead man to me. You're dead to me.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then we've got Derrick Henry, Titans legend, leaving Nashville, taking his talents to Baltimore.
How old is Derrick Henry? Like 32, 33?
In running back years, he's about 50.
Yeah, in running back years, he's up there.
But he's probably still got a little something. We'll see. It's tough just because you never know. Yeah.
But when you get to running backs, it's just so
He's
unpredictable.
not a pass catcher.
Some people last a little longer. Some people are only good till they're fucking 30. Who the fuck knows what you're gonna get? I don't know. You don't really know when that downslope's coming until they have a shitty season.
And he's kind of a traditional. I'm curious about the fit because he's a traditional downhill runner. Line him up, I formation, single back, under center, power runs. Is that really Lamar Jackson? I mean, isn't he mostly always in the shotgun?
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, we'll see. Excuse you.
Thank you.
So we'll see how the fit is, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, I think, honestly, what are we thinking of the Jags?
Well, they got Mac Jones.
They got MJ. Well, hey, not too long ago on this very podcast, I think that you were very much excited to see what Mac Jones can do in the future of New England. So are you not worried about Mac Jones leaving?
It was a mutual parting of ways. It was time for both people to have a fresh start, and I don't think there is a soul in this country that would disagree.
Nah.
So
Okay, actually,
know.
I don't actually. I think Pittsburgh might not be bad. I think they're gonna be pretty good.
With who is quarterback, Russell or?
I mean, Russell, but I'm saying their run games also got after last year, especially Jalen Warren had a huge year, great year, especially getting half the touches with Najee Harris. I think Pittsburgh is going to be pretty good. I think they weren't that. I don't.
That division's tough. The Browns are good. Ravens are
Yeah,
obviously good.
defensively, the Steelers have always been pretty good.
They got Joe Burrow coming back. So
yeah, that's true.
Division's tough.
That's true. My dad's pretty happy about. I mean, he doesn't like Russell Wilson that much, but they pulled some strings this year. They won some big games.
The AFC is gonna be gnarly because it's gonna be tough. It feels like there's no cakewalk in the AFC.
No,
except for maybe the Jets. But then Aaron Rodgers is coming back, so probably not the
Jets. Oh,
Jets.
fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, maybe New England is the only cakewalk this year. We'll see how much better we get.
I'm sure Breece Hall will be welcomed back to the Popo Hose with open arms.
Yeah. So it'll be an interesting year, but I'm ready for baseball season. I don't know if you're keeping up, if you're much of a baseball fan anymore, Don.
I'm a baseball fan, but I'm not keeping an eye on the trades. I'll tell you.
Well,
the
season's getting ready to start. Not trades.
It's not started yet. Not started yet. It's not started yet.
Well, they're in spring ball. You remember?
I know it's spring.
You know all about the spring ball life. You played more baseball than just about anyone that grew up in Southern Oregon.
Yeah, I put the time in, you know. Can't say the same for you, but
last week, as we just we faced off once and it was a home run.
You never hit a home run off me.
Or we maybe faced off twice, 2 or 3 times.
No, man, you never hit a home run. You never hit a home run.
Ground rule double off the wall, whatever you want to call it. We can go back and see if we can find the tape.
When you were 9?
No, we were what, 12?
As if that has some huge like fucking difference.
9 to 12.
Still playing on a 200-foot fence. You never hit a home run. This is your problem. Fake news. You're like CNN. You don't know what's gonna come out of your mouth, and when it does, you have to make sure you're haste to correct it because it's usually wrong. It's usually wrong.
Honestly, I was kind of a bad matchup for you. You had a lot of good stuff. You did have a lot of good stuff, but because I caught you, I knew.
You didn't catch me at that point.
Yeah, I caught you. We'd thrown bullpens. We played a little bit of Cascade ball together.
Oh, I thought. Wait. School. Oh, you think you hit off me in high school?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God,
dude,
you're out of your fucking mind. You're way out of bounds. You're out of pocket. No.
I don't know why you're saying that.
Your bat speed was never there. Bat speed was never there.
We had a relationship. I just being your catcher. I know your tendencies. I know your zones. I know
when did you hit something off of me?
2-1.
When did you hit off me in high school?
Well, practice. We would have done.
Oh, we would have done. So you don't even know. You're just flapping your gums.
We did live batter simulations during practice.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna throw me against. He wasn't gonna throw me against. What's that gonna do? He was using throw BP. We never did like a scrimmage in the game really that often ever.
I'm remembering Saturday practices vividly, and especially preseason. And
you know what it is?
We were doing live
bad performances are usually easily forgotten. So I think that you just got you probably got K'd up. And you don't remember. You have no idea because it was something you shoved in the back of your mind. You're like, can't afford this. I could strike you out now.
Dog, no, you couldn't.
I tell you what I'm throwing. I'll go like this. I'll throw a fastball.
When was the last time you threw a pitch from a mound?
2 years ago.
Oh, dog! If you could even throw a strike, I might be walking.
Oh, I'd absolutely.
If you could manage to throw a strike. If you could manage
I'd strike you up, dude. I'd strike you up.
You would it'd be a line drive right up the middle, perfect hit, and you'd be diving out of the way or sent to the hospital.
Dude, there's no way. Dude, I'm telling you right now, listen. I will bet you anything.
2 years you haven't thrown a pitch?
It's been I think we played like a men's league thing. It was like 20 to 30 something. I don't even know. It was like a men's
So
league
it's really
thing.
been longer than since you've thrown a pitch.
It's been around there. Yeah.
Been
When's the
10
last
years.
time? Oh, what? Are you at work on your after you're done doing your CPA shit? You run out to the field and have your starting game.
I swing the bat.
Softball doesn't count.
No, not softball.
Oh, the batting cages. What are you
Live
fucking
reps.
11? Are you
Live reps.
11? The batting cage. Is that what you're talking about?
Just I'm gonna say I have live reps.
There's
So,
no way you're talking
all I'm
a
gonna say.
family fun center is reps. It's not reps.
You don't have Family Fun Center. Here.
That's it's a batting cage, right? You put your tokens in. How many tokens did you get this
Live
weekend, Trist? How many tokens did you put in?
Dog, I'm telling you, if you could throw a strike, you would be sorry.
I easily could throw a
You'll be
strike.
saying,
Not to
"God, I wish I
mention,
had that
not
first
to
bag."
mention, I probably could throw a lot harder than I could when I was fucking a junior or a sophomore, for that matter. I'll tell you what, I'd be gassing it. I just throw
Well,
fastballs that
you might
strike
be
out.
Stronger. Well, you might be fatter than you were back then, but I'm just saying.
Fatter.
The arm motion isn't gonna. You're not.
Muscle memory, Trist. Okay. Put your
I know,
money
but
where your
you should
mouth is.
know,
Put your money
pitching's
where your
not
mouth is. Oh, I agree. I agree. But I would. But I agree.
It's not all about.
You seem to forget that you think that you think that. Oh, Tristan, you do the catching, I'll do the pitching. I think that you seem to forget. I think you seem to forget
Blocked a lot of pitches.
that, and
Saved
hitting
a lot of
is
pitches.
probably
All right.
more hard than fucking throwing, in some matters.
What?
To squaring up the baseball is one of the hardest things to do in fucking baseball. And
Yeah,
you're sitting here telling me that you've hit the batting cages enough to where if I'm hucking pitches at you, you're gonna fucking hit a seed up the middle. No chance in fuck. I'll give you $100 if you hit it out of the infield.
How can we make this happen immediately?
It's gotta be neutral ground. It's gotta be neutral ground. It's gotta be
Field 9 tomorrow.
It's gotta be neutral ground.
with a crowd. With a crowd, might I add. Because for one, there should be an alumni game. Have they never done an alumni baseball game? Because
With the Mustangs, they
you
do.
would fly. Not Mustangs, Challengers, baby.
I know. I'm
Just pick
saying
one lane.
challengers
It's
don't.
Challenger
Challengers
baseball,
don't.
USL Field 9. So
I hope to God they
cruise
did.
attendance. That's the baseball I know. All this other woke crap you can leave out Mustangs and.
I'm saying that's the only program I know that I've played with that does alumni games.
Well, that's sad because Cascade Challengers, we're coming up on 10 years post high school, 12 years post state championship.
Well, it took
Let's get
it.
the band back together, and who can still throw the rock around?
Oh, definitely me, 100%.
I'd be fine in 5 minutes. You give me 5 minutes to warm up and stretch, I'd feel at home. You don't forget that stuff.
Exactly. I agree with you.
But well, your issue is the arm strength's not there anymore.
That's not true.
I don't think you would know the mechanics or the.
I did
I
them
would be
every
worried-
day for like fucking
I would-
25
I would
years,
be-
like 20 years.
I would be worried. Not 25.
I know, no, that was a stretch. That was a stretch. I'm not 40. I'm not 40. Like, dude, it was every day since I was like 9 years old. It was the same thing, mechanics. See,
I'd be worried
that's
about your elbow getting thrown out because you already dealt with injuries. Remember, you were always dealing with that soft tissue stuff. You were coach,
always.
might
I had
not throw
I
today.
dealt with it once, and for a high school career, very minimal in comparison to many other people who had Tommy John surgeries and many other problems. I had very minimal issues with my arm through my high school career. That's a fact.
And you know why? Well, you had a couple. I remember. One was, I want to say, one was sophomore year.
Oh, I want to
But-
say, here we go. Mr. CNN has no idea when. He's just throwing out
No, I
shit.
think it was. Well, we only played 2 years together.
Best 2 years of your life.
Unfortunately, it was fun.
Sophomore year was
Junior year also fun.
sophomore year was probably the 2012.
Junior year was something was off with the injury and just we had championship hangover. What can we say?
Championship. Yeah,
It was though. Somehow we
but
weren't
20
able
well
to-
2012 was a magical year already. Technically, in that game, Cheney hits that dinger. We were almost dead to rights there if it wasn't for that home run.
Oh, absolutely. That's what people don't realize, and I think that's why, obviously at the professional level, but collegiate, high school, you need so many things to go the right way.
That's
Unless
true.
you just have a dominant team.
Yeah.
And you just wipe the floor.
Yeah.
With everyone,
If you're not
which we
wiping the
weren't.
floor with them, it is a flip of the coin who's going to execute in this certain player, whatever
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
And
And
the
on
fact
that
we
day,
were in
everything was in our corner.
quarterfinals, We were in a quarterfinal game on the road, down 5-0, and had done nothing
No.
offensively.
Nothing. Maybe a couple hits. I think the
And
entire it
fact
was.
that we were down to our last 6 outs.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the 6th, 7-inning game. and we all of a sudden, punch off. So when Cheney hits that, do you remember the score when Cheney hit it? Was it 4-6? Like, were we down 2 at that point?
I
So when
think
he hit
I
it, it
think
made
we
it
were I think we
8-6.
were down 2, if I'm not mistaken. I thought we were down 2, and there's 2 guys on base,
I
right?
think that's what it was. We were down 5.
I thought it was first and second or something like that, or
No, it
second
was
and
grand
third.
slam. It was a grand slam, fool.
Was it?
He had a grand slam. Yes, I was on second. I
Really?
walked,
Oh, maybe
and I was
yeah.
on second.
I don't remember.
And it was like cloud 9. I'm amazed I didn't trip and fall over. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was real. So I was on second. He hits it, and I'm look back, and what my dad and I remember is the same thing. We remember the right fielder. They were just out in the boonies. That team, Pleasant Hill.
Oh yeah, it literally was.
They
It
had
was
the
it was a
one-arm coach. They
yeah.
had the one-arm coach hitting batting practice, dropping it.
I remember. Yeah, dude, that was
You remember
impressive. That was
That was
impressive.
insane. Well, so when Cheney hits that ball, I'm looking at the right fielder because I'm thinking, tag from second. That's obviously my first thought. And every Cheney bomb was so high.
Yeah, it looked like it was a fly out right field or something.
Right. Yeah, I think they had a short. I think it was a short porch if I remember out and right.
It was shorter, but it wasn't like too shallow, but it was definitely
It wasn't
shorter.
like embarrassing. Yeah. And I remember looking at the right fielder, and he jumps, and obviously doesn't get it, and he starts punching his glove or punching the wall or there's something like that. And my dad and I both remember that. And that's when it hit me when I saw him punch. I was like, "Holy crap, dude! We're gonna win this!" Like,
I think it was
we
at that
needed this.
point, for some reason, I just remember after that game, we were like, dude, we're winning the championship. It was just it just felt
was
like
so
magic. It
weird.
felt like magic after that. It really did.
Obviously, so like we'd played Horizon, who I think was ranked number 1 or number 2. We'd played them in that doubleheader.
They were
earlier
up.
in the
They
year,
were up
and
there.
they
Yeah.
smoked us.
Yeah, they fucked
Or I
us.
think I think
We
you pitched
split.
The first
We
one, it was
split. We
close, and then we
split.
got blasted. No, we lost.
I thought we
both of them, I
split.
swear.
Oh, maybe not.
Promise. No, we lost, and so we they get upset. I think they literally were ranked number 1 in the RPI rankings.
They got beat by like
everyone knew San Am. Yeah, they got upset by. Remember Grandma Bad Cookies?
Oh yeah,
Whatever it
yeah,
was.
that was
Remember Grandma Bad
yeah.
Cookies? Grandma. It was
Yeah,
from,
I remember because we were like,
school.
we figure, okay, we're gonna face these guys, and they get beat.
Right, because we would have faced Horizon in the semis, and we would have had to go to Horizon, so another road game. Because we were ranked like number 5, and so that's why we were traveling Pleasant Hill, and then we would have traveled to Horizon, and so they get upset round 1.
Yeah.
So by this point we know, and it's brackets; they don't reseed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the bracket, and so we knew that. Okay, so Bandon's playing whoever beats San Am. I think it was like. I want to say it was like a Salem Academy or something. Wasn't it Salem Academy?
You might be right.
And so Bannon and Salem Academy. And Bannon was solid, but they were lower seed.
Yeah.
But they'd always been a good baseball team. But at that point, because they had lost to round 1, we knew we were like, okay, if Bannon wins or Salem Academy somehow upsets them again, like they upset Horizon, we're getting a home semifinal game, which was just crazy at the time. We're going, holy smokes, we're gonna get a home game and be the favorites with you pitching.
Yeah, that was a game, dude.
In a semifinal game with a chance to go to state. And so like you were saying, after we had that crazy one, we literally had 1 inning.
And Pleasant Hill was a solid squad. They were a solid squad.
They were amazing.
They were a good
one of
squad.
the best. I think the next year they went to the state championship.
Yeah,
I think the next year.
I think so.
I mean, we had no business probably winning that game. We beat them at home though earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we beat. Yeah, that was the second time we beat them.
7.
Yeah.
But we knew they were good, and especially the fact that they got the home field advantage and whatever. We had to travel to them. Obviously, that quarterfinal game's the toughest because you're using your number 2 pitcher. You had already pitched Tuesday.
Yeah.
You got to turn around and play Friday. So you're going to your number 2 pitcher. So it's a bullpen type of situation. I think Scotto started, and then Jordan got, I think, lit up, if I remember. But, just anyway. But it was like 5-0 game, in the bottom of the 6th. I mean, we were dead to rights.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if they made a pitching change or what happened, but, I think they walked a couple guys, maybe had an error, and then lined up for Cheney getting up there with the bases loaded, and the rest was literal history.
Yeah. Because
What was the
I remember
craziest
going to
thing about
Bandon.
it?
I remember going against Bandon. I remember thinking. I remember not being worried. I remember like, yeah, we're gonna win this.
No. I remember just the feel, and it was stupid that it was at Harry and David, but it just I remember just going like I remember watching him take any outie,
I know, me too.
before
I'm
the
like,
game.
these
I would
guys do
always
not
watch.
belong playing with us. Like, what the fuck?
No,
I thought they were
I was
trash.
I literally I was like, and especially with you on the mound, I think if we had had another type of thing where it's like our number two, we'll see, if they put some runs up, but I just knew coming back, you rested. I was
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
think Horizon was your only loss that whole
I
year,
think
like
so.
on the
Yeah.
mound. And we'd beaten Glide twice, we'd beaten Pleasant Hill, we'd beaten all these good teams, and I remember I remember feeling like we were for sure going to be in the
Yeah,
state
I
championship. But I was like,
wasn't.
it's just fun that we have a home semifinal game, so our
Yeah.
fans can be there and everything. And everyone, there's a lot of people that were just kind of getting up on that because baseball, like we'd never had a big crowd beforehand, or anything
After
like that.
that year
We'd
that
never,
year we did. That year we did.
yeah, we'd never been serious like contenders or anything like that. And then that home semi was fun. Just it was like perfect weather,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
springtime.
Yeah.
It was like a gorgeous day. And then we just smoked them. I can't remember the final,
It
but
wasn't. It wasn't a nail
was it a
biter by any
shutout?
means. I think it was
Was it
like.
a shutout?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think they scored a run.
I don't
Yeah.
think they scored either.
It was easy peasy lemon
Um,
squeezy.
and then you had that picture with Cody.
Yeah,
Remember
over
when
the
he's leaning
dugout.
over the
Yeah, that's
dugout?
such a sick picture. It's such a sick picture.
It's like a great
Yeah,
picture.
that's a great one.
But I remember at the time, I really didn't feel like we were gonna beat San Diego. It's like I was so happy to say at the time, like I'm gonna be playing in a state championship, Kaiser Field after driving
Yeah.
past it my whole life and I was like,
I mean,
this is crazy.
I
And it
thought it
felt
was a
like such
magical.
a
I thought it
step.
was a magical game because it went in dire needs when we needed it most. Everyone individually kind of had their moments of stepping up and doing something good. And
Yeah.
offensively, we kind of got the bats going, and then Jake hits that fucking. Which, by the way,
Yeah,
I remember watching it back. That left fielder, if he sprints and lays out, he might have been able to catch that.
I know. He kind of
But
it's
like
funny
the only problem with that is in a big game like that, if you miss, you're giving up.
right.
So
It's
it's kind
multiple
of
runs.
yeah, it's kind of like a
Basically.
leap of faith if you miss.
Right. I know. I wonder if that kid ever
But
thinks about like,
in
dude, I had
that
a shot
and
there.
I went over this in my head a bunch of times over the years. I remember like a year or two, I'd watch it sometimes just to like relive the nostalgia or whatever after the game, and I watch it back and I'm like, okay, if that's me in that position, I'm laying out for that state
Right.
championship game. I mean that is what
It's
balls
just
to the
knowing the
wall.
situation.
Yeah,
There
in
was
that.
there was two outs. There was two outs.
Yeah.
You know, it's again, it's like the sixth
Whatever you
inning,
do
I
in that
think. Or
scenario.
no, it was the seventh inning. It was the seventh inning. We're literally down to our last out. Well, it was tied,
It
but
was tied, yeah. But I'm saying, but like it either way, it's to technically maybe save the game either way. So you don't have time to fucking try to throw them out from fucking 200 feet. It's like I'm diving for that, 100%.
yeah,
I'm diving for that.
um, yeah, and it was just so it was so great because Jake had a tough year. Remember, he got
Yeah,
moved out of the infield because he had some errors, and then he got moved to the outfield, and he was struggling with Bruce a little
and he
bit, and
came up
just
fucking huge,
yeah,
huge.
huge. He got moved out of the leadoff spot. He just been so frustrated kind of throughout the year, and I understood it obviously, but
Yeah, well, especially
he
his senior year, he was frustrated with
yeah,
all
I
that
think he was
shit.
just ready. I think he was just done with high school overall
Yeah,
and just the high school sports too, and just but the fact that he got to end it with that, and
I don't think anyone thought we were gonna win. I actually thought we were gonna win. I was like, I think we're gonna win this.
that's funny. Yeah, because I mean, I actually didn't. I truly was. I was just happy to be there. I was like, you know what, this team's we were still pretty young. I know we had a couple seniors, Cheney and
Yeah, we had
Jake and
Josh and yeah.
Dylan who was suspended, but I was like, we still have such a core coming back that, and we just made it. I mean, my freshman year, we got bounced first round of the playoffs. This year, state championship. Okay, we lose that. Coming back junior year, and we're gonna win the freaking thing. That San
Yeah.
Em team's largely, graduated. I felt like we were gonna be the top dogs
But
coming back and
that's
just
baseball,
and
dude.
then we and
That's
then we
baseball.
freaking yeah, and then we tossed the ball up and we didn't make any errors. I think that was why we won the game is we played air free.
Yeah.
We didn't
We didn't give extra
we
bases
got a
up.
few runs across. I think Cody had a couple hits as a freshman, just and he pitched a little bit. Jordan pitched a little bit.
Yeah.
we used 4 pitchers, and then you came in at the end.
My arm was fucking
And the game was
toast.
just back and forth. It was like we scored. I think we scored one, and they scored one, and then they scored two. You know, it was just such a back and forth game. And
Well,
then I
then
remember
do you
when we
remember
tied
do you
it.
remember the highlights or whatever? There's a fucking I think it was Kyle that hit it. It was like a ground ball, kind of between third and short a little bit. It was kind of a hard play,
And
but the
an
guy
airmail.
and
He throws an
he threw
airmail.
it to hit the fucking cameraman.
Yeah,
Fucking-
that was the start of the seventh
that was
inning.
yeah, that was the start of the
That's when we
fucking
started it.
comeback right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and I remember watching that too because I thought Kyle was gonna beat it out anyway. I'm still not sure if
It was
they
close,
would have
but
got him
either
out. I think it
way,
was gonna be bang, bang.
even if the guy was able to catch it when he goes up, I think Kyle like crosses the bag anyways. But either way, yeah, he airmailed it like crazy, and then that kind of started that whole fucking thing.
You want to know what I try to tell myself that saved the game?
Hmm.
Jeff Hendricks comes up, guy on first, with 2 outs. I think there was 2 outs. Yeah, there was 2 outs for sure. And again, every Hendricks at bat was like,
Hold your breath, yeah.
hold your breath. He just had.
Well, I was
even his
scared. I
practice-
was scared when Scotto was facing him because I just feel like just for
and
Scotto's
didn't he hit like a major league pop?
yeah,
Just
a
out
major
there,
league
deep
pop up,
center?
a major league pop up, and I just because how Scotto throws, I was just scared that he was just trying to throw strikes. I'm
Right.
like, you
Big
can't
game
just
like
throw
that.
strikes against a guy like this. You can't just try to hit the zone. You can't.
And we'd truly, even in the playoffs, and Pleasant Hill, obviously had a couple good guys too, but we'd never faced a hitter like that all year. Somebody
Yeah, I don't think
just
so.
with truly, collegiate,
Yeah.
D1 collegiate hitting ability. And
After that
so
pop
Jeff
up, I
Hendricks
was
comes
like,
up,
oh, counting the players till he was up next again. I'm like, oh
yeah.
fuck.
And so I think his second time he walked, and then his third time he comes up, and I think that's when this was. And there's a guy on first, 2 outs. I can't remember, and I think it was tied or right around there. I call a fastball to you. Somehow, and this didn't happen often, like I was mentioning earlier in the show, we had good chemistry. For some reason, you throw a curve. And so I mean it's just a traditional cross up. And because he's he's a left-handed hitter, so I'm obviously got my left hand out catching. I realize the pitch is coming, and then I see your curve and it's splitting away. And I'm like, oh crap. And I get my glove up, and again, if I knew what pitch it was, it wouldn't have been a problem, obviously. But just because I thought it was a fast and I saw it break last second, I went, oh shoot, and I moved my glove out and it hits the palm of my glove
Yeah.
and bounces and gets away from me. And I mean, it was a total pass ball because it just the way it looked weird if you watch it back. Like you could see, I straight up just didn't know what was coming. And so the guy from first takes off to second, and I go over and get the ball. And as I'm picking up the ball, I remember vividly going, "Oh shoot!" And I think it was like 2-1 maybe or something in the count. It was a couple pitches in, and because you only came in what, the sixth or the seventh,
It was
or
the la- it was the
you only
la-
came
I
in
came in
towards
I came in the
yeah,
last.
this is the sixth inning.
Oh, I came in the middle. Okay, there was already a guy on base, I think, when I came in.
Right. So
Yeah,
that was this guy.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
this guy. So I think me and you had a pass ball immediately.
Yeah, I think so.
And as I'm picking up the ball, I knew, I heard people from the dugout going, run. So obviously I knew he was going. And I had no chance to get him.
Yeah.
And
You're not
so I'm
Molina.
trying to grab the ball. We're gonna forget about that. And as I'm picking it up, I'm going, oh shoot, we need to put him on. I was like, they just opened up a base at first. And as I'm walking back, I'm looking at the ump for a second, and I see Bruce up from the dugout, and he's going, Tris! And I was like, perfect.
Yeah,
We are
put him
exactly
on.
the same
Put him
page.
on.
And I remember I said something, like Jeff kind of looked at me for a second, and I was like, sorry. And I kind of like smiled at him. I was like, sorry, man. Or something like that. I was like, we just, this is the way the game just played out right now. And so we put him on, and then the next goof, I think you struck out, or
Yeah.
he grounded out, and we're out of the
I think the second one was a fly out, I think.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I was like, Who knows what Jeff could have done? He might have put one over the fence on you. I don't know.
Why
Lefty
is that
lefty,
always the
favorite on
alternative?
matchup.
That like if I don't succeed, I get shit on. Like it's just like insane, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. You think you would have struck him out though?
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. I will say I may have robbed you from an all-time state championship moment if you had just
Yeah,
nutted up
I
and
wasn't
blown a
gonna
fastball right past him.
I wasn't even I
to
wasn't
end the
gonna give him
inning
anything
in
he
a
could
tie
hit. I
game.
was just gonna throw it all around. I was gonna keep it low as fuck and just I think I would have struck him out. I wasn't gonna give him anything good to hit.
It's a good what if. There's a lot of what if from that game. That's the thing. You need
Yeah.
everything to go right, like we were saying.
You do.
My
You do.
dad holding, my dad holding Kyle and Matt. You remember that?
No.
Before Jake's hit with 2 outs.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
On,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was Cody Cog. I think it was Cody's single. Who was it? Somebody had a. Or no, it was Cheney. It was Cheney. Wait. It might have been Cheney. Somebody had a single to right. I think it was Cheney. Now that I think about it. And Kyle's on second. Matt's on first. My dad holds up Kyle, and they throw it in from right field. Remember that big? You struck him out to end the game. Big first
Yeah,
baseman.
Wansley,
or whatever.
yeah.
Caleb Wansley.
Caleb
Yeah.
Wansley, yeah.
He was just a big, awkward dude. And I was telling my dad later, and of course it worked out because he probably still just paying him to this day if we ended up not scoring. But that guy at first was just such a goof. He wasn't athletic.
He was
I
goofy
knew
as
that
fuck.
There was no way he was gonna turn and throw a seed at home plate. and
No.
get Kyle out.
No.
I just knew it. And my dad holds him up. Oh, whoa, whoa, put the brakes on him, and I went, oh man, we had 2 outs. If Jake doesn't pull that off,
Yeah. Then that's the
we
game right
probably
there,
lose the
yeah.
state championship. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably because we knew you had a limited number of pitches, so it's not like we could have gone into extras and yeah. So that was seriously a miracle because yeah, I would have lost my mind if we did not score. After
I do remember that. I remember you being pissed about it. Like, why are we holding there?
I was probably screaming. I just wanted what was best for my dad, man. Just like he
Well,
wanted what was
in
best
that
for me.
scenario, you're completely right because the odds that fucking gooby ass like somehow also plants and rolls with and gets because he
Right.
was across his body at that point from getting the fucking
Yeah.
off balance seed to the plate from that far, like you
And
know.
a tag, a
Ma-
good tag.
major
Kyle was
major leaguers, it takes them a long time. Sometimes they can't even pull off that play. Sometimes it's
right.
just like
And Kyle was a good base runner. He was fast. He knew how to slide. It's I think it would have been a tough out. Um, I think we get that done. But it was a fun game, man. And then we came back the next year with high hopes. We had the Arizona trip dialed in. We were gonna go down there. I think during spring training and play games. And I blow my knee out. Josh blows his shoulder out, and it just never felt that whole year. Just never. It felt weird.
dude,
Didn't seem like
there it is a real thing when like the magic is just kind of in the air. It's a completely real thing.
yeah, and it felt like
Like
all that magic
those
got
Cinderella runs, there's just some aura and energy around it, and it's just it's an intangible you can't really explain.
well, and that's what was fun. Was literally in the locker room, if you remember, after state, with the couches and everything. We're
Yeah, those old
celebrating.
couches.
Yeah. And all we were doing was like, dude, we're gonna go back to back. We're doing this next year. We're gonna go back to back. Literally in the locker room. Like that was already on the mind. And then, just
I mean,
typical story.
but if
the
that's not
injuries pile
but if
up,
that's not baseball, I mean, you could counter and say, I couldn't you say Horizon? Not they play Bandon 9 times out of 10. They're winning and they're probably blowing them
yeah,
out. But the one time
they're
they
going
just
down
caught
the
him,
road.
they caught him slipping and they just had a bad game. That's baseball.
Yeah.
Horizon plays that team 100
Um,
times, they win 99 of them. It's just like
but that's what's insane. So like Horizon, this is what frustrates me about junior year is it felt like right towards the end of the season we were starting to find our stride. We had a doubleheader with Horizon. You pitched the first one, and I think we sat him down. I remember I caught because I didn't catch many games, but it was at the towards the end of the year when I started catching. Remember we got that picture at St. Mary's when I'm first time back behind the plate,
yeah.
and 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 we just overall felt like a better team. Just Jordan was starting to become a really good pitcher.
And we very
We had
well
Cooper. We
maybe had
Cooper
more
in the
depth,
lineup
but
and
that's
hitting
just
missiles.
that's baseball, dude.
Huh?
I said we very well may have had more depth in
Oh,
consideration, but it's like that is literally baseball right there.
Right.
Right there.
Because so we get swept by Horizon sophomore year, and then they get knocked out first round, and we go on to win the championship. That next year, right before playoffs, we host them for a doubleheader at USL. You pitch first, we sweep them. And they were ranked number one, or we were both ranked near the top of the polls going into the playoffs or whatever. And they were on our side of the bracket again for playoffs. So then we go into the playoffs, and we would have faced them in the semis. And then we get upset in the quarterfinals. We would have hosted them again.
Yeah, that would have been
This was like
crazy.
This would have been like a week and a half later after we had that double.
Yeah.
And with you on the mound again, and I'm like, we just had to get past Bandit again.
Mm-hmm.
Like we smoked them the year before in the semis. Now we're just playing them.
And they still were. I remember losing. I'm like, dude, these guys are fucking shit. How did we just lose to them?
It was like, dude, it was 2-1. That's if you remember how crazy that game was. Again, it was at Harry and David quarterfinals. We had smoked them the year before to get to the state championship, and like we were saying, it wasn't even across. It didn't even cross our mind like we could potentially lose to them.
That's probably part of it.
And we're gonna host Horizon, and we're gonna host Horizon again. With you on the mound, we're gonna beat them again for the third time in the past 2 weeks, and we're gonna be back in the state championship. Like that was what played in my mind. It was the exact opposite. How I was saying the year before.
Yeah.
You know how I didn't think we could win. I was like, we're literally gonna be.
That's how it goes, dude. And dude, I remember there's a weird thing with baseball and that, like when you start talking about the next thing and what you're gonna do, it almost always backfires. Almost always backfires.
Yeah.
I remember.
You want to know what I remember?
What?
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say I remember on Mustangs that year we played Hawaii to go to the World Series in North Carolina. And it was the last day because win or lose, you're leaving the hotel because the big tournament was going on. We're in the championship versus Hawaii, and Coach Maben kept saying, "Hey, make sure you guys' bags are packed and make sure so we're ready to head to North Carolina afterwards." I remember he said it like 10 times. It was before the game even started, before we even hit the field. I remember thinking, like, dude, stop saying that shit, dude. It's fucking just don't have that mindset and huddle before the game. All right, so. Make sure you talk to your parents, by the way, about North Carolina and flying because we're flying to Raleigh because we're going to the World Series. And the whole time, that's all he's talking about. And I remember thinking, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is not. You don't talk about that when you haven't even played the guys yet. And I remember walking off the field and being like, why the fuck? And I'm not obviously it's not his fault. I'm just saying. I remember in the huddle sitting there. I'm like, this just feels. Why the fuck are you even talking about this? Not the game right now. Yeah. It's just like it's a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you remember this detail. So it was 2-1. It felt like we didn't have control of the game, but somehow it was 2-1. Going into like the bottom of the second.
The ball was bouncing their way that day,
You led the inning off with an infield single, I think. We end up with runners. We end up with runners on second.
I was stranded though for sure.
With no outs. Runners on second and third with no outs. Winning runs on second.
Yeah.
With no outs. K to end the season.
Yeah, I remember. I was sitting on second. I'm like, there's no way no one's hitting this fucking guy. There's no way.
Yeah. That was literally how it ended.
Well, the second I got on base and then I got to second, no outs. I'm like, okay, tie game, easy peasy. I did not think that. I thought there's no way I'm sit stranded for 3 fucking hitters. There's no way.
Yeah, that was just. I think that's the part that upsets me the most.
I think who was after me? Was it? I think it was Cooper. Was he after me?
I know. I think Cooper ended it. I think he was the last one. Not to put him on blast. Sorry, Coop.
Sorry, Coop.
I think it went Luke. I think it was Dusenberry was the first one. Because you would have hit what, third in the lineup, and I think Luke was 4.
I think I was second or third.
Luke. Can't remember because you and Cody would flip too between second.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just remember
that season Cody had was just ridiculous.
Yeah, he had a great
one.
He
hit like 565.
Yeah, he was teeing off
or something just insane. But I want to say it was. I want to say it was Luke. It was for sure Luke and Cooper. I can't remember the third one. If it was like Tim maybe or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I want to say it was a senior. And another senior. I want to say it was either Tim. Or,
I think it was Tim.
yeah, and they just, you know what? I'm almost positive it was Tim. I think it was Luke, Tim, and then Cooper to end it.
Well, I was happy as fuck when I got to second base. I'm like, easy, dude. I'm like, even if they fucking just put it in play, I'm already on third. Like, what the fuck?
And then I think, and then I was trying to remember how we got second and third. What happened? If Cody followed it up with something. Oh, that's probably what it was. You were hitting second, Cody hitting third, and then
That probably
Cody
was.
got to second.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And so then you ended up on third, Cody on second, and then we go KKK.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Ku Klux
Well, we're at
Klan.
an hour. By the way.
I know. Reliving the glory days, huh?
Yeah.
And then you decided to hang your Cascade jersey up for greener pastures, I guess. But I never quite understood that decision. But maybe we'll get a special episode to go over what all went into that thought process and where Tris fell and all that.
Oh, I mean,
I thought I would be certainly part of the recruitment process, and apparently my words didn't matter as much. But
anyways, okay. Well, we're out of time, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.